Thoughts on that one?
Real frustration, yeah. I think you find yourself in a decent unbeaten run, you find yourself at home, and we had the best chances in the game. It's as simple as that. I think statistically you see that. I think your eyes would tell you that in the game. We're having a go to try and win it, of course we are. But I think my wee frustration probably comes that we just felt as a group there that we missed 5 or 10% just in stages. There was a spell in the second half where we're banging the door down, the goalkeeper's making saves, you've got territorial advantage, and you feel that you just need to turn the screw at that point. And I think if you get one, it's going to be defining in the game ultimately. But I can't criticise the players, I'm not criticising them. We take ownership for not getting the goal together, whether that be for a set play, whether that be from open play. And then very simply you take the positives of continuing in the unbeaten run, continuing with a clean sheet, etc, etc. But we wanted and we felt we probably deserved a little bit more.
You wanting that one chance, was the one for Bruce? Did you think that was in?
I did, by how he finishes, and we don't label any blame on Bruce. There's been a couple of other efforts there. Wee Davies brought a couple of saves, getting good positions, probably should work the goalkeeper a wee bit more or find a wee bit extra quality. But you're absolutely right, that does become the glaring chance of the game, and we all know Bruce Anderson in this country. I think so highly of him, and when he gets in that position he generally finishes, but he's a human being at the end of the day as well, so no blame labelled on Bruce at all.
Just to obviously focus on a positive, it's a first clean sheet of the league season. That's got to be something to kind of take away.
Yeah, listen, it's always where a foundation's built from. I think in this league where it can be so challenging, if you show up well again. I think the only shot that Dundee had in target was in the 90-something minute, and even at that it was possibly a question whether it was going to go by the post. So Max does put his glove to it and they do get a corner, but I felt reasonably comfortable from that side of things. But as I say, you take the positives. The defensive side, we're always trying to get a blend. Sitting here saying that we want clean sheets and nothing else, or sitting here saying we just want to score goals, and not be pragmatic behind the ball. Is trying to get that balance. And today we probably didn't just quite get it right.
Is that unbeaten run something that you emphasise to the players? You obviously would like to get 3 points today, but...
Yeah, I think when we sit here and you talk about those marginal gains, it's one of the positives you take away. But yeah, you want to try and keep that going as long as you possibly can. I would be becoming emotional if I'm sitting here angry, frustrated. We were happy with it last week, so again it continues this week. But I said to the players, I've probably got a wee case for, and nobody bothers, nobody cares what in terms of my view on it. But ultimately I feel that we've got a wee case for sitting with far more than the 3 points than what we've had when you take into consideration Livingston, Hibs and today Dundee. So there's a lot of positive signs there for us, but we have to make sure that we capitalise on it when we have the lion's share of chances in the game. We want to come out on top.
What was the issue for Jamie coming on?
He's felt something in his groin there, so really early stages. I thought he was terrific today. Thought he defensively, thought he threw in a lot of good crosses, got into a lot of good areas, retained the ball well for us. So a little bit of disappointment that he comes off at that stage of the game, but fingers crossed, we'll just need to wait and see. But he's generally, I keep saying, he's generally one of these guys that trains and plays, so if he feels something then we need to take it serious, of course.
We're just chatting to Ethan, he's another young player who's come in and not looked at a place at all.
No, great. I take that major positive. Robbie Dees and Lewis May have had plenty of clean sheets in this league. Matt Strycek have had plenty of clean sheets in this league, so he gets his first in the league, and was a really solid part of that back line again today. Used the ball relatively well at times, but yeah, Ethan's done fantastic since he came into the team against Hibs, and he's earned his place to go and play again. And I've shown that wee bit of loyalty, but he's earned it. I've not just given him it for the sake of it. So he's one that's getting better by the day.
You have brought in as well 2 new strikers this season, so it's something I presume you'll be working on, because you know yourself you can't rely on spectacular goals every week, but there's a good foundation for these guys to work on.
Yeah, I'm not getting carried away with myself, but I think if you look at the history of my teams, they generally score goals. That's how we set up to try and play, to score. We'll generally get that from strikers, we'll generally get that supporting in other areas of the pitch. I've been asked questions before where strikers have scored double figures and how do you replace it, so we're always working to try and do that. And to this point we've been scoring goals, so I'm not going to start getting too emotional about it. I'm disappointed, of course, but we'll work away again this week to make sure that we can try and capitalise when the chances come our way.